if you're designing a pool and they say no to you, it's because of price, right?
For sure. One of the things, yeah, I've had a couple people say that they had a design that was better than mine. That hit me to the heart,
Yeah.
and so I was like, "That's not gonna happen."
Yeah.
So, I was like, I'm not gonna, like, let someone run away because they just had a better design. To
Right.
me, that hurt me.
Right.
So I'd like, give me another opportunity.
Yeah. So I want to talk to Diego. He's one of our master designers here at Regal. He has an interesting story, but he's one of our newer designers and one of our guys who's really creating backyard designs that are really pushing the limits, and we're excited for him. So I just want him to talk about what he's like, where he went to school, what he studied, and kind of his design philosophy of how he likes to come up with these modern designs. So just talk.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, it's been fun. Went to architecture school at the University of Houston and worked at the same time I was working for a home builder doing modern designs.
Super modern.
For sure.
We saw you. Jesus saw you out there, right?
Yep, that's how I met Jesus, and through the same project, a beautiful home in closer to the loop, inner loop of Houston, and very beautiful house under construction. The pool and the house, and it's just been a great experience. I've never worked on pools before. I really wanted to learn the world, and the types of pools we do are not just rectangles and just circles. They're some
Like
masterpieces.
like art.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I went to your pool last week, Tran, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is cool." And the coolest part is you and Jesse did such a good job. I never even had to go there. And then I just got to go there and take the credit from the homeowner who was like, "Ari, like, who's this guy? All right, hey, thank you, man. He's Diego was great." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I know." And a lot of our projects are like that. I go to as many as I can, but you guys are the ones out there really making them happen.
For sure, yeah. I mean, we have so many big projects going on at once. It's impossible for you or for the other owners, anybody, to
Yeah.
always be involved. So yeah, it's good that you can still go up at the end, and
Yeah.
I'm glad we delivered.
Yeah. So we have like so the way this works is we have designers who's Diego. They come up with a design, they give you the price, you sign an agreement, and then we hand it off to Sam, who's our drafter, does all kinds of stuff, designer as well. And then after that, it goes to um, project manager, in this case, Jesse Rodriguez, who's building pools here forever. And I've known him for at least 10 years. I stole him from Pool Corp years ago from the front desk, and I was like, you can build pools. And he's been an asset to us for a long time. And I mean, you're pretty confident he can build any one of your pools, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's we worked on a lot of projects together already. Of course, you learn all the ins and outs of what not to do, what things you can improve better
He
on.
helps you, right?
And for sure, I've learned a lot directly from him.
Right.
Of course, from you guys and the other project managers, but since Jesse's taken on a lot of my projects,
Yeah.
we become pretty close
And he's
on
cool, man.
super down to earth.
Yeah, super down to earth, like great dad. Um, yeah, I can't say like if I had a pool build, I'd love Jesse to build my pool.
For sure. And one of the awesome experiences, like if I deal with a new client today, you're imagining all these different things, you're creating ideas here and there, but then you have to think, how am I going to build that?
Right.
I have a pretty good approach to it now, but I still address like Jesse, I address Andy, I pull people aside, and everyone's super ready to help.
Yeah, I don't think
So,
clients realize it when you come in about how badass the people after you are.
right. Yeah.
They just look at the price. They're like, "Well, why are you $3,000 more than this guy?" Well, because we pay Jesse very well because he has a family and he's really good at what he does. And he didn't learn how to build pools off of YouTube. He learned how to build pools at Regal Pools through adversity and learning. And if he ever messed up, yeah, we're not like gonna raise our voice. Yeah, for sure, we're gonna let it be known that like, hey, don't do that again. And I know he's learned from those mistakes, so he doesn't have very many at all anymore because we're just big on getting better.
For sure. And yeah, it's just understanding, make sure everything that all these crazy ideas that we come up with, that they can be built.
Right.
Whether just structurally, making sure you're meeting someone's budget, right? Because you want to design whatever and give them the dream, but you also have to be realistic for what they're actually trying to put into their backyard.
Right. So, most of the time, if you're designing a pool and they say no to you, it's because of price, right?
For sure. One of the things, yeah, I've had a couple people say that they had a design that was better than mine. That hit me to the heart.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "That's not gonna happen."
Yeah.
So, I was like, I'm not gonna, like, let someone run away because they just had a better design. To
Right.
me, that hurt me.
Right.
So I'd like give me another opportunity,
Yeah.
and I'd present like another design, and then hopefully try to win it again the second.
Right. So what do you think, what's frustrating about being told that you cost too much and you losing that project just because of cost?
Right, when you first started, I really didn't know what pools costed, so that was a really struggle trying to understand the cost for pools. For building a home, I kind of understood footage, but it's just different numbers. Now I'm accustomed to it. Early on, that was a real struggle. But one of the first things that I learned is like if someone tells you no, think about it as like it's a family member of yours, right? Are you really gonna let them go with the
Yeah, I
guy
feel bad
building the
when they don't.
pools
I'm like,
at the
dude,
back of
just
the car?
yeah, I feel bad because I'm like, dude, I know unless you're like Paragon Pools, Marquee Pools, they're awesome. Like they are fantastic builders. And I learned to build from Greg Watson at Marquee Pools. But unless you're like one of these high level guys, I feel bad when people just choose like one of the, the national builders or just some guy getting into it who just needs to build pools to build pools. Like I feel bad for that because they don't realize the situation they're getting into. They don't realize that they don't have a Jesse Rodriguez, you know? That's a huge thing. And I know people when they're at the office, they just flip to the last page. Like, why are you 3,000? Why are you $5,000 more? It's not because we're making more money. It's because we're putting all the good stuff on the pool up front. And there's no, like when we bid pools, I never let you say, well, let's do this lesser, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like, dude, we got to upsize this. Dude, we got to do a bigger pump. I'm sorry, man. And he's like, man, it's going to cost this much more. I'm like, but it's what's needed. But you already know that the other guys aren't doing it. So it's separating you further and further along from closing the sale, right?
for sure. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, I really do feel bad when someone is trying to really cut the cost, and it's just, hey, just being upfront and just pointing out, hey, this company, yeah, they may be doing that, but you have to compare apples to apples,
Yeah.
making sure that it is. And if at the end of the day, if that's the best option for them, of course, yeah, I wish you the best of luck. Hope everything goes well.
Right.
If you ever need me, I'm always still available.
Right. So I
Um,
guess the moral of the story is that if you want to build some badass pools, then it costs more than just building a rectangle with water. And Houston's great, has a bunch of people who build rectangles with water, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to push the limits and build stuff you're proud of and hopefully accomplish, your childhood dream of owning a backyard that is better than all your other friends.